Welcome to Translation Mysteries. In this video, I'll be using live footage from my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stream. But first, I want to make one thing clear. Localization is an art, not a science. There's almost never a right answer, so these are just my opinions at the end of the day. With that out of the way, let's get into it.
お宝は全部いただいていくもん。もも、リクのテンションが高いですもん。
Tenshion ga takai is a common Japanese phrase. If literally translated, it means tension is high. Obviously in English that doesn't really make sense, but it does mean to be like high energy or excited.
ノポンは戦わないもん。でも、お荷物になるのはごめんもん。
Japanese there was nimotsu ni naru no wa gomen, so literally means I don't want to be a burden. They've translated it as would hate not to lend support.
マナナたちも戦えたらお荷物になりませんもん。
Oh, there's the word burden.
しゃあねえな。俺も手伝ってやるぜ。
ランツまで。
I think you can tell that in the Japanese he only said even lands. Here it says that turn up for the books. I guess usually lands isn't very helpful.
お前に恩を売っとくのも悪かねえからよ。
Okay, now we understand.
これでエレベーターを動かせるはずもん。
I like the translation. The Japanese was that should make the elevator move, but the English now elevator behave self. That's really funny.
さすがリクだな。こういうのに詳しいのがいると助かるぜ。これぐらい朝飯前も。
So the Japanese here uses a phrase, asameshi mae, which means before breakfast. So if you describe something as being before breakfast, it's like you're saying, I can get this done before breakfast. Meaning to say that something is a breeze or a walk in the park or very easy to do. Here they translate it as this piece of pollen or for Riku. Translations like that are fine, right? You can take one idiom and turn it into something else. The problem becomes when an idiom is like a pun or something. So like if we literally did it before breakfast and they use that as like a pun, your translation is it's gonna be really hard.
時間を食ってる暇はないんだ。さっさとやっちまおうぜ。
Let's ash him up here, or let's ash him up, yeah. Is ash supposed to be another like curse word, right? You got spark, you got snuff. Ash is related to fire. Let's ash him up. I think you can guess it's not what the Japanese said, but I don't remember what the Japanese said.
話はまとまったようだな。さあ、これで下に降りるぞ。
This English is kind of funny. Let us descend. It sounds like we're gods with wings or something. Let us descend upon this earth. Seems kind of dramatic. I guess they're just trying to keep in line with Taeyeon's way of speaking, where he's like more intellectual. I don't blame them for writing let us descend. It still sounds kind of funny. Still pretty hot here.
ストーンを見分けるのは難しいな。
そこはリクに任せるっきゃねえよな。
Japanese, she said, that's why we leave it to Riku. English, that's why Rikus were invented.
ジェムストーンや鉱石はそこらに転がってる石とは違うもん。それにさっき拾った鉱石も使い道がちゃんとあるもん。マナナにはわかりませんもん。
The line in Japanese was, Manana doesn't understand, but not rock scientist is a fun translation. Don't be modest, you've got skills, mate. You should be an appraiser.
余計なことは言わなくていいもん。
Yokkei na koto.
余計なことなんかじゃないよ。好きなことがあるっていいことだし。
Yokkei is a very difficult Japanese word to translate. Yokkei means like to do more than necessary. So if you say something yokkei na koto iu na, it's like you're going a bit too far. You're saying a little bit too much. So when Riku was telling Lance, you know, don't say yokkei na koto, it's like you're talking a bit too much. You don't need to say all that. In English, they went with, you know, like, you don't have to flatter me or something like that, right?
さすがにうめえな。歩き回ってるとこういう濃い味付けが体に染み渡ってくるぜ。
That sentence did use the word sasuga. Sasuga is one of the hardest words to translate, I feel like, from Japanese to English because it's used so often. Sasuga means for something to be like as expected, but a lot of the time it's used to compliment someone, like Sasuga Manana, which is like, you know, as expected of Manana, but like in a way that's way more a compliment than just saying as expected. So here he says Sasuga ni umai or something like that, which is to say that he expected the food to be tasty, but that nuance isn't really anywhere in the English translation. That being said, I don't really blame them for taking it out because that word in Japanese is used a lot, so you can't really translate it naturally every time.
でも私は好きだよ体温の料理ちょっと個性的な時もあるけど
大丈夫さ飲み込んでしまえば大抵のものはなんとかなる
それってフォロー
The Japanese word they use there is foro, which literally translates to follow. You can use that in Japanese to mean like to show someone support in a way like right now Taeyeon's cooking is being insulted. If someone follows, they're basically backing up Taeyeon, right? So Senna is asking, are you trying to like back up Taeyeon here? And they've translated to, do you really think you're helping? So if you ever see foro in Japanese, you probably don't want to translate it as follow.
そうなんですもんでも今知ってくれたからいいですもんリクのおかわりは山盛りで持ってきますもん
I should mention that Manana said she's gonna bring a mountain of seconds. In Japanese, she actually did use the word mountain.
それだけ嬉しかったってことだね
素直に言葉を受け取れるのはマナナのいいところだと思うけどな
素直すぎるかもしれないけどね
それに加えて無邪気であるというのがノポン族の特徴だ
素直で無邪気ねリクも十分素直でいいのポンも
They're using a lot of words that are hard to translate in this conversation. Snao is the word they're using here for upfront and for honest. Snao can be like a kid who's obedient. Snao can be someone who is open with their feelings. Snao here obviously being Manana, who is not afraid to show her emotions, right? Here they've translated to honest, which I think they mean to be like honest with one's emotions, but Snao is, yeah, another word that's actually hard to translate.
リクとしたことが部活だったもん
The Japanese here was like Riku scolding himself for being careless. English is interesting. This blight on personal record.
でもノポンは戦わないもんそんなことありませんもん
In Japanese here she says that's not true, but in English she says that's irrelevant.
ミオさんやノアさんたちみたいにはなれなくても
And in Japanese here, I think she said you don't have to be like Mio or Noah, which is the opposite of what the English says here. Huh. Interesting.
頼りにしてるよマナナリク
Tayori ni shiteru means basically like we're counting on you. Here in the English, they've said you're an asset to the team, you two.
来たよ見えないけどすごい数だってわかる
飛び込むぞ息を目いっぱい食べろ
A big welcome party was Sugoi Kazu, which just means a lot of people. Good translation.
誰よりも優しかった軍務長にナミさんの命を奪った敵の戦法を使わせてしまったのはそこまでしてこの僕を殺そうとそう決意させてしまったのは
その通りだ太陽過去は人を狂わすんだよ
He said, "Kako wa hito wo kurowasun da yo." I'm pretty sure that means like the past can drive a person insane or drive a person mad. But that's not what he said in English. He said the past will haunt you. So, an interesting translation there.
僕たちはあなたと戦う理由がない。それでも命が欲しいというなら僕のをあげます。
太陽。
それであなたの気が済むなら。
See? So, I actually mentioned in an earlier stream, Mio and Senna were talking to someone from an enemy colony, the guy that talked to them while they were like picking up their burritos. Mio said to him, you know, you can shoot me. Kiga sumu nara. She said the exact same phrase, Kiga sumu nara.
私でよければいつでも撃って。それであなたの気が済むなら。
And here they basically translated it as, if that puts your heart at ease. But in the scene with Mio, it was something like, I'm not a hard target. That's what it said. I'm not a hard target. So that other translation was like really, really different than what the Japanese was. Here, they kept it pretty much in line with what the Japanese said.
That's all for now. There will be more videos coming soon, so if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to discuss the translations live, be sure to drop a follow on Twitch at BrooklynB_JP. We'll also be doing a translation stream of Yokai Watch 4 once I hit 200 followers, so all the more reason to hit that follow button on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.